Hey y'all, welcome back to Leslie's Mature Makeup and Beauty. Today I've got a random assortment of affordable and, more higher end products to try out. Several of them are new releases, some of them are just kind of new to me, but we'll just talk about everything as we put it on my face. So I'm super excited to try some of these things, so hopefully they won't disappoint. And as usual, we're going to start out with our eyes. I grabbed this Nabla Read My Mind palette. It is cardboard packaging. Super cute. But this just looked really pretty. And let me peel this off here. Comes with a nice mirror. And then I loved the way that this was set up. Because you have, it's laid out kind of in rows, but then also in quads, which I thought was pretty neat. So you've got a scarlet row, a rose, a sage, and a honey. And I've never tried Nabla's eyeshadow formula, so I thought we'd give this a try. And this is one of their newer palettes. I've already got my NYX primer on, so we're just going to get started in this palette. Let me grab us a kind of a fluffy-ish brush here. And y'all know I'm looking at those kind of rosy scarlet rose, but I think we've got kind of a bold lip, so I think I'm going to start out down here with, and these shades actually have numbers. It's number 13 in the honey row. A little bit of powder kick up, tapping off that brush. We're just going to start laying this down, kind of above my actual crease, since I do have hooded eyes. I think I've seen one person on YouTube, mention this palette, Jen Phelps. I love to watch her channel. She's got a great personality, and she's always got a good assortment of, drugstore and high-end. She does a lot of dupes. And this is kind of a warmer row. You got some cool tones in here as well, which I like. Y'all know I'm a cool tone gal. Oh my goodness, I'm on 100,000 email list that Revlon is set to file for bankruptcy. I want to say it was like Allure or somebody. I think they reached out to Revlon for comment, but there was nothing, in that email that, they had not returned their call. But that just seems wild to me. That's one of those brands that's been around. That brand's been around forever. But the article that I read said that, I think they were already kind of struggling financially. And then 2020 happened, and so we'll get our full face of Revlon up pretty soon. That way, if there's something, if they do, but it could be one of those things where they file for bankruptcy, somebody buys them out, and the brand continues on. Kind of like BH Cosmetics. I don't know, it's just sad. There's been, I feel like over these last couple of years, a lot of brands that have closed their doors. Alright, so I think I'll leave that there. And then it's going to take kind of a flat brush. Of course, I need to wash my brushes. I could have swore I had one. Yeah. This is kind of flat, kind of fluffy-ish. We're going to go into this dark brown shade here. It's number 16, still in that honey. I'm just going to do a tiny bit on there. Put that in the outer corner here. I have had the craziest dreams lately. Well, I say lately, I always have crazy dreams, but not last night, but the night before. And y'all let me know, are y'all dreamers? My husband doesn't, he says he like hardly ever dreams. Which is weird to me because I've always had super crazy dreams. My dad's the same way, so maybe it's a hereditary thing, but when I first woke up, you know how it is, you remember more than, you know, kind of as the day goes, it all starts kind of fading away, it seems like, in your memory. But I was on a boat, and somehow my left arm got cut off. And I was worried to death about how I was going to hold my books to get to my math class. Well, there's another guy on the boat that volunteers to donate his arm to me. It was his left arm, you know, he's going to give it to me. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. But then when I get the arm, the fingers are all crazy. Like the index fingers, like real crooked, and then the thumb was really short, and then the pinky was kind of weird. But I was like, you know what, I'm just thankful I have this arm so that I can get to class. And it was just burning, and I looked down at it, and like where it's sewed on, it's like it's been welded. Then the last thing I remember is like, you know, getting into class, sitting down, and, you know, looking at this donated arm that's been welded on. Just wild. But that's probably not the craziest dream I've ever had, nor will it be the craziest I ever have. It's just kind of par for the course for me. And I tend to talk in my sleep too, which I've always done that. My husband's generally a pretty hard sleeper, but he hears me, you know, mumbling and rambling sometimes. And I think I'm just going to stay in this row and go with this shade number 14. But I think it's super strange to me that he doesn't dream, and it's strange to him that I dream as much as I do. So, you know, like I said, my dad has always, I need to call him today and tell him about that. Wild one. He'll get a kick out of it. Ooh, that's pretty. Even with a brush, that applies really well. And I'm just kind of overlapping that with that deeper shade in the outer corner. Yeah, that's a really pretty. If I wasn't wearing this blue shirt, I would have went into that sage row. I'm excited to try those shades. So far, this seems like a nice formula. Just building it up a little bit more right there in the center of my lid. And I'm going to take just a big fluffy brush and just kind of go over those edges. And I'm getting an early-ish start today, so because I got a new foundation, so we will be able to do a wear test. because I am definitely somebody that likes to go to bed early, which my husband gets up super early for work, so he needs to go to bed, and I like to go to bed with him. So I think that turned out pretty. A little bit on the, like, that crease shade's a little bit on the warmer side, but I think it's really pretty. And I'm excited to use some of these other shades in here. You know, of course, these rosy tones, but then these shades over here look interesting as well. So I'm excited to keep playing with that. But let's move on to some foundation. I grabbed this Ulta Beauty Complexion Crush medium coverage foundation, and I think this maybe has gotten some buzz on TikTok, but apparently I'm not on the right side of TikTok, because I don't ever see this stuff. I guess I mostly just listen to funny stuff. But I'm also going to try out this. I got this mini size of the Milk Makeup. It's all black, like why? Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. I'm just going to put this on one half of my face. I really don't think this does anything. I've used it several times, but I'm just going to kind of put it over on one side and see if I notice a difference. Because I do have, you know, enlarged pores, and I tend to get a little breakthrough in the T-zone, that kind of stuff. But I don't want to put it on the whole face, just because when I'm first trying out a new foundation, I don't like to I can't exactly describe the scent of it. It's almost herbally or something, but I'm glad I just bought the mini, because I just don't, I can't say that I've noticed that it's really doing anything, you know, anything more than like my Blur Stick or the Revlon primer that I have. But in this Ulta foundation, I grabbed the shade Light to Medium Cool. Just giving it a little shake. It's got one of those. And it does have just a little squeezy tube type situation. Looks to be a little bit of a thicker consistency. But I'm going to start over on the side that I don't have that primer on, just to let that kind of sink in for a second. And I think this claims to have a buildable coverage with a natural finish. So I'm just going to go in with a damp sponge. This is the e.l.f. Cookies and Dreams. I think I did pretty good with the shade match, which is surprising. And I can't remember how many shades this came in, but I want to say it retails for somewhere around that $14 mark. And they have another one that looks, the packaging looks similar to this one, but that one didn't have great reviews, and this one is the newer one, so I thought I would grab it and try it out. Got an eyelash or something stuck there. So that's, we've got some on this side, nothing on that side. So let's go ahead and apply to the other side. And you know, using a sponge, especially a damp sponge, not going to get as much coverage as you could out of a product versus using a brush, but all my brushes are dirty, and which really the only foundation brush that I've like actually loved the way that it puts my foundation on, well, the BK Beauty, the 101 I like pretty good, but that 106 is probably the best foundation brush I've ever used. It does appear to have a pretty natural finish. Which I like. Yeah, I'd say applying with a sponge is probably giving us more of like a lighter, on the lighter end of medium, which is fine with me. Alright, then I don't have anything new in the concealer department, so I'm just going to throw on this e.l.f. brightening concealer right quick. A bit of tack to it, but let's finish off our eyes and then I've got a cream bronzer that we're going to use, so I'm going to take just a little bit of this number 16 shade that we put in the outer corner, just a tiny bit on the pencil brush, and just run in that outer corner there. Let's take a little bit of our shimmer shade number 14 and just pop a little bit of that on the lower lash line as well. And I think I got that in my eyeball. For mascara, I'm going to use the IT Cosmetics Superhero on the top lashes. This is a really nice mascara. It's just, you know, it's a higher end mascara, so it's spendy. But I grabbed this L'Oreal Telescopic. I think it's supposed to have a little tiny brush, so I'm going to use that on the lower lashes, because I have just made such a mess lately. I don't know if my eye shape is getting, well, I mean, obviously it changes, you know, things droop and sag and what have you, but I just feel like I've made such a huge mess under my eyes lately with my mascara, so I thought we might try that and see how it works. Put 2 coats of the IT Cosmetics on the top, and then we'll see what this L'Oreal Telescopic. I'm hoping this wand is super tiny. Yes, that's what I thought. Super tiny, but it looks like it's got those. It's got like a flat section and then like little silicone teeth. Y'all probably can't tell that, so we'll see how this goes. And I did get a little bit of the other mascara on my lashes already, but I was hoping this little tiny wand would maybe keep me from making such a mess. I'll definitely have to try that a couple of times and see what I think about it. But like, I know the IT Cosmetics doesn't flake or smudge, so we'll see if that holds on all day. Might should have curled these lashes. They're a little crazy today. Alright, so for bronzer, I grabbed from LYS their new No Limits bronzer stick. So I thought we would give it a try. They have really cute packaging, you know, triangle shaped, and this retailed, I think, for like $18, so even though it's a Sephora brand, and I just got the lightest shade, I think it's Motivate. Yes, Motivate. So I think what I'm going to do is to show y'all what the shade looks like. Hopefully it's not too light or too warm. It feels really creamy. Actually, I just broke it a little bit, but I think I'm going to take it on a, you know, kind of a dense brush and just dip my brush into the product. I'm going to use this Real Techniques, what do they call this? Expert Face Brush. It's kind of a dense. I like this for cream products, but, well, I may take this off the back of my hand and then, you know, we can dip into the stick. It's a very creamy formula. And I couldn't decide between this shade and the shade up, so hopefully this will be a good shade for me. Because I don't like anything too warm. It goes on super easy. I mean, it blends out like a dream. I mean, that takes like literally hardly no effort to work in. Which I've heard good things about this brand, about their, you know, like their cream blush and their foundations and things. But this is the first thing I've tried from the brand, but I'll have to see how this looks like in natural light. I'm not sure about this undertone. Which, you know, that's just a shade thing. That's on me. But the formula is really nice. And of course, we'll have to see how it lasts today. Which I've got just a bunch of kind of inside stuff to do today. I'm not going to be outside in the heat. We're in, you know, that, well, really this temperature feels more like it should be, you know, what we get normally in August. We're in the kind of mid to upper 90s with like 70% humidity, so the air is so thick you could wear it. I mean, that blended in super easy. And then for blush, hopefully this will be not too clashy with our lipstick. I thought we'd use this NYX Wonder Stick. I have used this before. You get 2 shades of cream blush, and they also have a contour and highlight. This is Coral and Deep Peach. I think I may go in with the Deep Peach, just so it won't be quite so peachy. But the way I like to use this, I haven't tried to just draw on my face. I like to just take this is my e.l.f. Putty Primer applicator, and I'm just going to rub it across the stick and then apply it to my cheeks. But this is a really nice formula. It also blends in, you know, super easy. You know, we're going across the nose and everywhere. And it's lasted well on me as well, the times that I've worn it. I've only used it a couple of times, but it seems to be a nice formula. And I have like layered both shades, you know, kind of put the lighter shade more towards the center of the cheeks, and then the deeper shade towards the back, and it looks really pretty like that as well. So And that, you know, I haven't noticed it picking up my foundation. That cream bronzer didn't pick up my foundation, so just gonna mush all that in good. You know, kind of go around those edges. And I'm not looking too shiny, so I think I'm not gonna set this foundation down. I mean, it's got a little bit of tack to it, but I kind of want to see what it does just by itself. And then for lips, I grabbed, now this is a higher end product, one of the Give Beauty, Gwen Stefani's brands, one of her lipsticks. This is the Anaheim Shine formula in Rosewood Street. And it's super bold, but it looks so pretty. So I think I'm just going to throw on a nude lip liner. So, well, and this is nice, kind of heavyweight packaging. So let's give this a try, see what this shade looks like. It looks a little brighter on my lips versus what it does in the component. Everybody's natural lip color affects what a shade is going to look like, you know, on you. It feels good. I may have to sit with this shade for a minute and see how I feel. Look at it in some different light as well, because, you know, this light is not the most accurate depiction, but this is what our finished look looks like. And we'll go outside and, boy, these under eyes are rough. Take a look in natural light and see how everything looks. Hey y'all, we are out here in some natural light. It's about 10 in the morning, so we'll definitely check in here in a little while. Now I do have a little bit of a dry patch on my eye right here, so I don't think that's the shadow. I think that's just my skin. Everything has performed well, I think. The only thing that I don't think does anything is that primer. Lip color looks a little brighter, you know, in real life, but the bronzer, I think, is really pretty. Looks really natural. But let me step out here in the bright sun, let y'all get a good look at this foundation. And I think next time I use the foundation, I would probably definitely set it down with some powder. But I will check in with y'all. I don't know if I said it's like 10 in the morning. So I will see y'all in a few hours and we'll check on everything. All right, so we are 4 hours in. I did decide to step back outside. I'm getting pretty shiny. As you can see, nothing is breaking up yet. Everything still looks pretty good. The lip is worn off some, but you know, it's not doesn't claim to be a long wearing lipstick, and I did have a pretty greasy lunch, so you know, I think it's still hanging on pretty good considering, you know, I've ate and drank and smoked cigarettes and all that stuff today. But so far, everything's holding on good. I do think, you know, just based on the amount of shine that I've got, that I would probably definitely powder this down, the foundation, next time I wear it. So I'll see y'all in a few hours. Hey, y'all. We have made it to 8.5 hours, so I thought I would check in with you guys and, you know, show y'all how everything is wearing. First off, well, let's just go ahead. This primer, I don't think it done anything. You know, I just put it over on this side, and it really, I may be just a hair less shiny, like right here, but overall, I don't think it done anything. I don't think it blurs the pores or any of that stuff, so save your money on this guy, I think. Foundation, other than being, you know, I'm obviously pretty shiny, but I didn't set it down with any powder or anything, so I think if I had set it down with some powder, we may not be quite as shiny as we are right now. But so far, I think I like that. I've got just a little bit of settling into some of my like forehead wrinkles and maybe just a little bit of the lip lines, and I may be worn off just a fuzz kind of in this area where I get the oiliest, but it doesn't look bad. You know, anywhere that it has kind of, you know, started to fade some, it's faded gracefully. Eyeshadow still looks fantastic. Really pleased with that. I can't wait to use this again. I think it's a gorgeous palette. Mascara's held on good. Blush, we're still kicking. Bronzer, super easy to apply. I might could have went with a slightly deeper shade, but it performed really well. Like I say, super easy to apply and blend, and it's held on good. This lipstick, I did put on a little bit of lip gloss just before I turned the camera on, but this lipstick, I've still got some of that color hanging on in those areas where, you know, it's kind of clinging a little bit to my lip liner, so I'm really impressed with this lipstick. It's definitely kind of hung in there. I think that was it. I think that's everything. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with how everything performed, and I'll definitely keep trying this foundation, you know, set it down with a little bit of powder next time and see how that, see if that helps it, you know, helps that shine that I get sometimes. But now I haven't done a ton of sweating or anything crazy today. I've just been in the house doing housework, laundry, you know, that kind of not fun stuff. But hopefully, y'all enjoyed this video. I thank you so much if you've made it this far. I'm sure it's probably another long one. I really appreciate you guys' support. Y'all are just the best. Y'all leave the best comments. Y'all are just so sweet. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.